So for this video, guys, we're going to be looking at the play called Tight Curl. It's going to be something that we're going to run a little bit different than we showed you with the A route where we motion it to the right. This time what we're going to do is we're going to motion the X to the right and put both the A and the Y on streaks and block your running back. So it's going to look like this, very similar to what you would see on a gun bunch type of setup where you would do like a mesh post and motion the guy over. But what I like about this play is that the B route actually is a delayed route, which allows for you to get the players down the field more so that way you can kind of throw it to him. Let me show you the B route first. See how he stops, then he's delayed. Everybody gets pushed down the field. You're going to get yourself some easy yards with it. This is against cover 2 with your cloud flats. If you're doing cover 3, it's going to look very similar, where you basically are getting that delay, and that delay is kind of a hidden route you don't notice until you actually run the play, and it really does get a good job with this. So B delays, lets everybody gets underneath, catch your ball, get your 5 yards. It's going to be something that a user's going to have to pay a little bit more attention to because of the delay. It just gets everybody in a better position. Now, if you want to go for the better of the yards, it's the X receiver. That's the high-low that you're creating here, which is really nice because of the fact that if they have to play that B, then you're going to see that the X is going to come across. You're going to be able to throw it to him, get your plus, kind of get down there. So it's kind of a, what does the user do? Does he want to play low or does he want to play high? And you're going to make him pay either or. Now, you could always leave the RB on that route, just to kind of give you a little bit of a option against, some of your cover 3s or whatnot, especially because the B and the A and the X are going to drive that player back. So you're going to have that throw, if you just want to get a couple yards. But typically speaking, the way I'm going to run this play is to make sure that I'm using the player to help as an extra blocker, right? So that's basically how it works. Let me just go show it to you on the left side. You can run the same or you can flip it. I like it as well because you can kind of run the same thing to the short side. Some plays I'm going to tell you that you're going to want to flip it every time. This one you can do it to where you don't have to flip it and it's going to work the same. So, you can basically run this anywhere, flipped, unflipped type deal. B does that same, slop, get you throw it to him. You can see that when you're going to the short side, it's going to be a little bit harder to get more yards out of it. But what ends up happening is you're going to have a good opportunity to throw it to the X. So you kind of take what you're basically trading off is you're going to get less yards with the B, but you're going to get more yards with the X. See how the X is going to have a little bit more room to catch this ball and get around the yards, because he's going actually through 2 different streaks. As you can see here, that the Y and the A are both relevant streaks when it's to the short side, where the wide side, it's not as much. But I wanted to keep it with one setup, so that's why you kind of go back and forth. So kind of use your judgment of how you want to use it. I prefer it, like I said, to the wide side, but it does work to the short side, only because I just love the B route, the way it delays. It gets you all that time in the world, catch this ball, and get yourself 5, 6, 7 yards, depending on how long it takes for them to rally down. And just because of that, it gives the user a little bit more awareness that he's got to cover that himself, leaving the backside post.